Hello YouTube, this is Time itself with a game of Team Deathmatch in Ground War on Fuel. Deathmatch isn't quite my normal thing, I'm more used to the domination, other objective game types, so the not dying bit being important, kind of a new concept to me. I'm going to try and be a little less aggressive. Decide the ACOG vector, probably not the best idea. Go ahead and pull out the FMJ, sleight of hand stopping power, sit rep tar 21. Sleight of hand is going to let me try and pop in and out, so I don't have to spend a lot of time looking at those iron sights, and let me reload faster when I do decide just to spray through a wall and try and get a kill with the FMJs. It seems like the bullet magnetism is reduced in Modern Warfare 2 compared to Call of Duty 4. It makes it harder to look near someone, aim down the sights, and have it move closer to them. It's what lets the quick-scoping sniper clowns do their thing. And it does work with other guns. I don't have a lot of luck with it here, but you can do it. In Deathmatch, it's a lot easier to move the spawns. Have your team push through, and the enemy starts spawning behind you, or just for the spawns to move around the map in general. As a result, you want to be paying attention not only to where the enemy generally is spawning now, but where are safe areas giving your teammates line of sight. Enemies might spawn around the corner from you, but they're not going to spawn in one of your teammates' line of sight. I've got my airstrike already. I'm looking at that minimap thinking this is going to be great, but what do I get at the end of it? Just one measly little hit marker. Iron sights in Modern Warfare 2 are definitely a lot better than they were in Call of Duty 4. Don't see them quite as much as you did in World at War, but I think the big thing to really help with using the iron sights is to remember what the sight picture is supposed to look like when you raise the gun. It's not much of an issue with a lot of these guns in Modern Warfare 2, but you get something like the Japanese machine gun with the side-mounted clip. You gotta be thinking before you raise that what you're supposed to see when you actually get it shouldered. If you didn't, you'd end up shooting a couple feet to the side of a person because you were aiming with the right post instead of the center one. That is also a possibility with the tar. Not as likely than the ghost ring, and the sights are slightly angled, but you still want to be thinking about what it's supposed to look like when you finally do shoulder the gun. This game starts to remind me of Team Deathmatch on Pipeline in Call of Duty 4. Two long buildings, open space in between them, and teams fighting on either side. Since this is ground war, it's going to be pretty hard to sneak around the side and get behind them. Just going to have to get some cover, be careful, and take them head on. The problem, of course, we'll run into is that they'll be camped in. Not really a fan of slow-paced gameplay like that, but it is how you win a lot of these games. And you can always let the green arrows go in and find the enemies for you. Apparently one of my teammates didn't know about the rock you can get in the back of the map there. Kind of freaks out, and everybody's like, "Oh, you didn't know?" Well, the easy answer here is you can just leave the guy alone. This window is a death trap. It's a common route for people to take when they're trying to get from the back of the map over to these two longer buildings. They'll like the view, so they'll stop and try and shoot some people. Problem, of course, is that a lot of places on the map have a good view of it, and the corrugated steel wall at the bottom isn't a lot of cover. I pull out my laptop here, and it doesn't look like there's a really good way to call that airstrike in. Most of those guys are probably inside. Most of the buildings still have roofs, and while I could probably try to angle the airstrikes so they go in the building, it's not worth it. There's our sniper friend out there camping inside of a rock, and just ignore him. It's not worth it. The spot isn't that good. One of my teammates tells me to try and call in my airstrikes, so I grab the laptop and give it a go. I don't have a very good feel for exactly where those bombs are going to land in relationship to the point I call it in on. You see, it comes all the way down between both of the buildings there, so it's got some range on it. But this time, not even a hit marker. Normally I'd be somewhat concerned at this point that they'd start spawning around me, but since there's a guy out in that rock, it kind of stabilizes the spawns, and I'm not really too worried about just calling in my care package back here. Turns out to be a counter UAV, not great, but I'll still take it, pretty useful. It's not going to make it any easier to sneak around behind them, and just too many people in ground war, even on a map this size. I do enjoy running sitrep, I think it's really useful, but when I see candy, I have to go pick it up and screw the guy next to me, because I'd rather get the points for sitrep. And then he almost gets me again, because instead of shooting him, I'd rather try and get the FMJ kill on him. Well, 2 for 2 in terms of my objectives. Pretty good. That Humvee had been providing pretty good cover earlier, but I think they're on the other side of the map now, and it won't work quite as well. Again, trying to watch this window over here. I think guys come through it pretty often. My counter UAV has already left the map. I feel kind of exposed here, and I still got some cover right there in those barrels. This guy is an idiot to turn back around to try and get me. I've got cover and he doesn't. It's not a good choice. This position is still exposed, but here now, listen. I can hear several pairs of footsteps over my teammates talking. I'm just gonna wait here. He gets me a nice double kill. I don't expect to be able to stay there any longer at all. That doesn't mean I have to go very far, however. Back in the window works just fine. I'm expecting my teammates to clean up that guy. I'm watching the mini-map and the kill feed and waiting for the +10, but he runs back in the room. Was not expecting that. I got 1 round left in my TAR. That's not gonna work, so go try and pick up this guy's gun. What does he have? A shotgun. Nothing against the 1014, but I'd rather have my Spaz. I really would like a longer range weapon. And suddenly I remember, oh that's right, the first 2 guys I took out. I should grab one of theirs. We haven't had UAV for a bit now, and I am watching that minimap, looking at my teammates, waiting for them to die, waiting for red dots to appear. I really don't know where the enemy is. Extended mags and a light machine gun. Looks like fun. Grab a couple quick kills from this window, and think to myself, I probably don't want to stay there. And then come out this way. Suddenly, remember, oh that's right, the sniper's still in that rock. Well, I guess I'll go back to the other window. I really hope they fix that rock thing soon. It's annoying. Not a big deal normally. Still, I should take my own advice and not sit in this window too long. It really gets you killed pretty quickly. Still, I can't complain too much as I'm doing a good job leading my team, and I feel pretty good about the role I'm playing with them. Now, I've respawned in this corner of the map, and just look at where the blue arrows are looking. That's going to tell me where I need to go. In this case, I kind of expect they're going to try and come back around from A, and might even start spawning over there. I'm certainly guilty of mashing X as soon as I die to get back into a game, but there really is a lot to do to reevaluate your situation. Think about changing class. When you respawn, considering what your options are, and not just running blindly forward. The thing is, most people will run blindly forward. You catch the first 2 guys thinking they know where we are, and they don't. Now I've been hanging onto this airstrike thinking maybe I'll get the last kill of the game with it. I think someone needs to tell me actually how to use these things, because this one doesn't even get a hit marker either. And then since I have it, I figure, what if someone tries to knife that sentry? Maybe I can drop a crate on them. It's a pretty long shot, but more likely to get noob tube instead. There you have it, 23, 2, and 5. Not that impressive, but I feel pretty good about that. For a team deathmatch, I think I'll take that. I'm kicking myself at the end for not calling that care package in sooner. It's an AC-130. Well, thanks for watching. Unique kill feed for you here.